Hello guys, and welcome back for another video. Today we are going to talk about light bulbs, specifically LED tail light bulbs. Now I did a conversion on the TR6 probably a couple of months ago to put in LED headlights. Today we're going to talk about the tail lights, why it's important, where I bought mine from. There's a lot of different options that you have available, but one of the issues that I've had in the past on the GT6, I actually put in a set of LED tail light bulbs, and within a few days they just stopped working. They gave no warning. LED light bulbs are supposed to last basically the life of the car. They didn't. I don't know why, but it led me to mistrust the bulbs a little bit. So I wanted to look around and see if I could find out some more information on what makes a good bulb, where to get them from. So anyway, I thought I'd take you through a little bit of a tour on how to do it, why to do it, and does it actually make a difference, and go from there. So let's get started. Now there's no shortage of LED bulbs on the market, and so I reached out to Vintage Car LEDs to suggest that they carry some commonly used 1157 bulbs. As it turns out, they already do, and they were pretty helpful in providing some information regarding just why LED bulbs are superior. So some of the things you already know. For example, LEDs use less power than incandescent bulbs. There's also negligible heat output on LED bulbs relative to incandescent ones, which will help your plastic lenses to last a bit longer. The bulbs in general last a bit longer. You're probably not going to have to replace them again while you own the car. And then of course, we all know they've got more light output, but in addition to just being brighter, if you buy the right LEDs, they only emit red light. And with a regular bulb, all of the light is filtered out except red, which is what you see. So with a kind of white light incandescent bulb, you get a portion of the light that escapes through the filter. LEDs are brighter to begin with, but if you get a red LED, all of that light escapes, so it's going to be better for people behind you to see. And finally, they illuminate significantly faster. You might have already known this, but here's why that's important. According to a study by the University of Michigan Transportation Research Institute, LEDs illuminate fast enough to improve response time of the driver behind you by between 170 to 200 milliseconds. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but look at it this way. A 200 millisecond improvement in reaction time at 65 miles an hour is 19.1 feet of stopping distance. So even if an accident still does happen, it could easily mean the difference between a bent bumper and a wheelchair, or worse. So keep safety in mind. It's a pretty good upgrade if you're considering what to do next for your car. Now I picked up a set to test them, and I've been pretty impressed by the difference. You can see without special equipment that LEDs are both considerably brighter and faster. Unlike some LED bulbs available, there's a larger difference between the light output with just the dim taillight portion of the bulbs and the bright stoplight portion. You need to be able to see the car first of all, but it's just as important to see the difference between driving along and stopping. With today's soccer moms favoring Suburbans and Explorers, and with cell phones in the hands of every driver, I recommend a set of LED bulbs in any Classic, especially if the seats don't have a head restraint of any kind. I bought my bulbs from Vintage Car LEDs. I'm not an employee of the company. I'm under no obligation to recommend them over anybody else. But the good news is that we did agree on a deal for my YouTube subscribers. So this is going to help more on headlight sets that I reviewed in another video. They're the direct replacements for the 7-inch round headlight bulbs. But if you hit a minimum purchase requirement, you'll receive a discount with the coupon code Midwest Motoring. I'll post a link in the description below. They've got a good product, and Matt and Tom know their LEDs, so check them out. You probably already know how to change a tail light bulb, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But basically, pull apart any trim pieces that are in there, take the old bulb out, and put in the new one. I'm going to do one side so that you guys can see the difference. On some cars, if you've got a setup where the turn signals and brake lights use the same socket, same bulb, then you may end up with a condition called hyperflash, which is where the turn signals are flashing very quickly. If that happens, you just need a flasher that's compatible with LED bulbs, and it should fix the problem. The other thing that could be an issue is there are some bulbs, some cars rather, that require a resistor. And that usually deals with the way that the turn signal lights are routed. So again, you're on the same bulb, but if you have a turn signal that has a single indicator light on the dash, you may end up in a situation where, because of the way it's wired, Such a small amount of current will turn on LED bulbs that if you turn on a turn signal, you're going to end up with all four going at the same time. So you need a special resistor if you end up in that situation. Now we'll turn the lights down and let you see the difference. Alright guys, well, as timing would have it, the baby monitor just started going off, so I've got to run inside, but as you can see, very quick project, doesn't take more than just a few minutes, so it's something that you can do easily, and that's pretty much it. So if you've got questions, let me know in the comments below. Midwest Motoring basically exists to help with the use and enjoyment of these cars. We want to see them on the road, and so if that's something you can get behind, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. We'll see you next time. Thanks.